The title of this podcast is You're Allowed to Grow. Another title could have been You're Allowed to Not Be Bothered. When I was learning how to play pickleball, my good friend Michael Schaefer uh, was one of the people in the early days who was helping me develop my game. And when I would be on the court, I was kind of like a statue. Like I grew up my whole life being athletic or what I consider athletic, to be agile, to have some quickness, to move really well, to look smooth at my physical activities. But somewhere along the way, I stopped doing those activities and I lost it. So when you get to pickleball, when I got to pickleball, and playing it, balls would be hit right by me that if I just took one step over to the right or to the left, I would have been in position to make a play. And so Michael would be my partner. And after him watching quite a few winners go by me with me being frozen in my position, he would look at me and say, "Hey, you are aware that the rules allow you to move. Like this game actually, encourages running. Like you could actually run to the ball." Like, and so we would laugh about that all the time. And I started saying that to other people that I would play with. And it became this really great joke. But as I think about it in regards to my growth and the practice, I think it's a metaphor that's applicable here too. And some examples are, is that, you know, when I am being Keith 1.0, which I work really hard not to be, but when I'm being Keith 1.0, what I notice is that I am not open to growing. I'm easily bothered in the form of complaining or judging. And additionally, I don't want to work on myself. I want to work on other people or wish other things were different. And that's certainly one choice to live my life in a way that I'm at the effect of things outside of my control or at the effect of what my mind, my personal mind, Keith 1.0 says about a situation. That's certainly one way to move through life. It's full of suffering, but it's a way to move through life. And there's quite another way. The other way is to understand that I have some options, that the rules of the human experience actually provide some choices. And like pickleball, the option to run or move, which is permitted, I also have the opportunity to choose to grow, to not be bothered, to work on myself. Those are all like choices. And those are choices that I'm exercising more and more. I've been doing it for a while, but I'm even more so doing it right now. We're experiencing quite a few changes at work, at Mayo Clinic, where I am fortunate to have a job and hopefully contribute in some small way. It's definitely been a gift and a blessing to my life. And with some of the changes, it's really difficult for some people to adjust to the changes. And there's reasons for that, which I'll, talk about in a different podcast. But for the purposes of this, you can be so uh, thrown off by the changes. They can seem so overwhelming. And I acknowledge that there's a lot of change happening right now. There is also something else that's present too with the change, and that is your agency, your ability to choose to respond a different way. And in this way, for me, that way is not being bothered, not making it such a big deal that I'm suffering or engaging in behavior that I know won't make a difference and certainly won't lead me to the path of peace. So what I'm choosing to do in this situation is to practice acceptance, understand that I have the opportunity to grow, to learn, to not be bothered. And instead, if I say to myself, what would happen if I don't make this a big deal? Could this be a really good experience? And even if there are some things that could have been done differently or can be done differently, whether that happens or not, or we are able to do something instructive to improve the process, whether it's the communication of the changes or the changes themselves, I want to be peaceful along the way, and I want to be a contributor in a positive way as we move forward. So all of that's a choice. When I went to Hawaii most recently, what I was keenly aware of with the flight delay, with other things that were looking back, were just minor inconveniences or things that didn't meet my preferences, I could have been bothered every step of the way, but I chose not to be because I'm allowed not to be bothered. I'm allowed not to make everything a big deal. I'm allowed to I'm allowed to work on handling change. Like those things are permitted. And what I found in doing so is my experience is much richer, is sweeter, and I'm peaceful along the way. So just, think about that as you move through life and things show up and hit your stuff, that you're allowed not to be bothered. That doesn't mean you don't care. It means you do care. And so you're going to look for the good in that moment. You're going to be a contribution, a blessing to the moment.